I've got to try not to interrupt you. Because my thoughts are just always, I'm trying to justify my thoughts and try and get things in all the time. I know. I am a nightmare for it, ain't I?
It's always pointing.
I'm always pointing.
Yeah. Right. I had an idea for today's video.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Before you interrupt. No, I just thought we've made lots of videos about all the bad things that are going on and how we're struggling to get over it and this and that. So I thought for people who have left or thinking about leaving, maybe we should tell them things that have helped us to get over it. The things that we're doing now that are helping us.
Okay, that was difficult not to say anything then.
What you should do. So
all the things that, say it again, all the things that people have done.
That we do to try and get over it,
right.
you know, ways to cope, because you are just like left feeling, what now? You don't really know what you believe. You're confused. So I thought some of the things, I'm still not there yet. Oh, I wish you'd stop shoving that on my double chin. Some of the things
when you sit like this, everybody has a double chin.
Yeah, well.
Come on, don't worry about
that. The first thing I started doing, because obviously Lizzie had been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which was really, really difficult, checking her blood constantly, you know, feeling like we've lost a big chunk of the family, and just, the late nights we had, checking her blood all night, check, and I was getting shaky before I did her blood and things, so I was put on antidepressants, which actually have been a big help, I think. I don't think I could have coped if I wasn't put on them. So I think if you do need medical help, then you should take your own way that you need medical help. That was one thing. The other thing was feeling like I didn't have control over anything. I just wanted to gain something that I had control on. So I joined a group on Facebook about decluttering things in your home. And I did that for a little while, didn't I? At night, I spent 3 hours going through the house, decluttering and cleaning, which I've let slip. So now back to that again. I'm going to try and have a good declutter, because it's just something that you can control yourself. And when your home is nice and clean and organised, it helps you feel good. And one of the things I did in that time was to throw away all my JW books. And that felt really good to do that. The other thing I started doing was I started doing yoga. Just a very, very, very small bit of yoga, like 10 minutes a day. I was scared to do it at first because we were always taught that was demonic to do anything like yoga. So I started doing that. And now I'm going to a yoga class, which I've only been to one so far, but I've really, really enjoyed it. That has helped me mentally and physically to do that. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, the other thing that I thought was, when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, one thing that we loved to do was to check on people and to give, you know, buy people presents and things like that. And I thought, I haven't.
Do you have my charger?
It might be that one on top of that bag over there.
What was I saying? Can't remember.
Help chicken.
Oh yeah.
Shut the door, please, sorry.
So we're just trying to find ways. Like, one of the things was a little old man a couple of doors up was struggling with his fence, wasn't he? And you went and built a gate for him, and we're just sort of like, you know, talking to our neighbours and checking on them, things like that. But the other thing was that we weren't spending money on anything, or didn't I don't know, something was missing where I didn't feel like we'd been able to give properly. So I signed up to do a sponsored run for Diabetes UK, and I can't run. I'm not fit enough to run, but so far I've been training through.
Can I burn this?
In a minute.
Later.
I've been running through September, just sort of every 3 days. I've had a little run. I haven't been able to go very far, but I've done what I can do. And this month I have to run 8 miles within the month of October, and we've managed to raise £105 so far, and that's made me feel really good, and actually feeling like I've got some control over my fibromyalgia as well. That's helped my body to be able to run. I've been able to do a little bit more with the family because I've felt healthier. So getting involved with that, finding a good cause that you feel passionate about, that's not religion, that's not going to mess with your head, or especially the fact that I haven't had to get too involved with people because we're in lockdown. So that's been really good. So if anyone wants to sponsor me, it's Diabetes UK, a month of miles, and it's Marie Dines. So if you've got a spare pound and you feel you want to sponsor me, that would be really good.
And you did another thing. What else did you do for charity?
Oh yeah, we did a sponsored homeschool project because the children are homeschooled. So we thought it was good for them to learn about Lizzie's diabetes. So we did a sponsored homeschool project, and I think we got something like £280, and that was for JDRF, the Children's Diabetes Charity. So that was good. Obviously the children have been needing to make new friends. They're basically left without any friends because we went straight into lockdown. So I've been desperate to try and find them some friends. We love doing woodland things, don't we? We've always been into bushcraft and stuff. So I contacted a lady that does forest school, but obviously because of lockdown we've not been able to. Also the local nature reserve near us, they have work parties where they clean up the woods, and families go to that. So we've met the man that runs it. He's one of the counsellors for our area as well. He's been a real nice person. We've spoke to him about our situation. Oh, and by the way, there's a work party tomorrow.
A work party?
Work party at the woods. So you're all social distance.
What time?
9:30.
9:30? That's when the car boot sale's on.
Yeah, we're not doing car boot sale. We've just had holiday.
So got some money left over.
So hopefully the children will meet some friends there. I think I've mentioned in another video, and again, my hair's a mess. Brian always gets me to do these videos when my hair's a mess. But anyway, on a real bad day, I decided to get my hair done. Got talking to the really lovely hairdresser who lives on our street. Talked about the whole thing. Hairdressers are really good counsellors, by the way. They're a lot cheaper. You get a free haircut then when you talk these things out. But she's got a daughter who our oldest daughter's now made friends with. Nice family. Kate, the hairdresser, came running over on Chloe's birthday, didn't she, with presents for her, and she got me some shampoos and things for my birthday, which I thought, we've only just met, she's the hairdresser. But now Rosie's made a friend through that, so we're just trying to find some friends for the other children. So it's just baby steps to actually go back out into the world again, which sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But yeah, things like that. What else have we done to help? Oh yeah, find something to get excited about. So usually we don't make a big deal about our wedding anniversary, do we? We just do a little something. But it was 15 years this year. So because we were in lockdown, the holiday parks had just not long opened up. So we saved up like mad. And I was so excited for September when we took the children just to Hunstanton. It's Heacham, wasn't it? For a week, and I planned all these little surprises of anniversary cake and sparklers, and I got them all new clothes, and just had it all sort of planned out, an anniversary picnic on the beach, and just these little things that just gave me something to look forward to. And then we've just been away this week with family, all social distanced again, different caravans, sat on different tables in the clubhouse, but it was just something to look forward to and to be able to think about, just to put your focus on something positive. So now we're back from that. We're thinking about this letter writing thing, aren't we, to try and put a stop to it, because it really does mess your life up when you...
Are we thinking about that?
No.
I only just had that thought this morning, so I haven't really been thinking.
Oh, I've been thinking about something like that.
Yeah,
for a little while. But I don't... that's the other thing. No, you can speak.
Mm.
Is joining an ex-JW support group. I did not want to do it because it just all seemed like attacking, which you found funny, didn't you? You found some of the jokes about Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff, like these little memes and things, where people are just angry and expressing themselves. You felt that way, whereas I felt a little bit like it was an attack. But I don't know how I came across this website, and I met a lady called Maurice, and she set me up on this group. She's a lovely lady, and I felt like I was doing something really, really bad by going on there, because you hear the word scary apostate, and they're like poison, they're like gangrene. But because you'd been on a group for a while, I decided to join. I did find that very helpful, to find that there was another lady on there called Marie, and she was in a similar boat to us. She just saw all the badness in the congregations. The family were all still in, and she just couldn't take it anymore. But she's very treading carefully, because she didn't know how she felt, just knew that it wasn't right. So speaking to people that have gone through the same thing, that has helped. Although at this moment in time, I personally feel like I need a little break from the ex-JW groups, because I just want to have a break from thinking JW altogether. I need a little break from thinking about it, I think, and just try and get back to our homeschooling. Now we're back off holiday, homeschooling, try and get my running done, try and have another go at the house and things like that. Just try and build myself up again. So hopefully some of those things, maybe there's something that some of you that are feeling a bit lost could think, or somebody gave me a good advice on a wobbly day. Do something naughty that you weren't allowed to do as a Jehovah's Witness. Listen to some music that you used to enjoy before you was a Jehovah's Witness.
So push over an old lady and listen to death metal.
No, leave the poor old ladies alone. But listen to your metal. We've been listening to Slipknot, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, the odd naughty word just slipped out. You've had a lot of naughty words, but I haven't had as many naughty words as you, I don't think. What else have we done that's naughty? Oh yeah, we had Chloe's birthday.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit strange about doing that, but actually, on the day that we did it, it felt so natural, and it was nice for her to have some attention when there's been a lot on her sister's diabetes. So it was nice to give her a special day that was all about her, wasn't it?
But you say it was naughty. It's naughty to them, but not naughty.
It's naughty to them, yeah. When I say naughty, if you're still in the mind of, you know that they're not right, you know that it's not the truth, but you still got this gut feeling of what if it is, and is God unhappy with me, and go on. No, go on. No, it's not my video.
It's like a stamp in the back of your mind, isn't it? They're imprinted in your mind.
Yeah.
It's like if your mind, you could wander around. If your mind was a big hall, you are in control of yourself while you walk around the hall. But there's stuff stamped on the wall in the hall, like posters, and that's like your consciousness. And that's been imprinted there by the organisation. And we've got to try and get, as time goes on, hopefully then posters start to fade in that hall and just go.
And talking about posters, that's one of the reasons why I want to have a little break from the ex-JWs, because I totally get why people post the things they do, but sometimes somebody will post a picture of a book and say, do you remember we actually used to read this book and believe it? But to me, seeing that book on there is a trigger that actually just makes me feel sick. So I think I need to build myself up before I look at those again. Yeah, I totally agree with the comment saying I know what brainwashing stuff in that book or whatever, but just seeing it, even passing the Kingdom Hall, makes me feel sick. So
yeah, well, I think there was the future track. The future track was on there, and that was difficult. That wasn't difficult. It was just I saw it and it said, "Will the future stay the same, get better, or get worse?" And I just learned to say that off by heart, and that was what I was doing for the last
we use that track all the
year
time,
and a half
don't
of
we?
ministry because it just got everyone talking, and it was just so easy to remember. And then you just go straight to the thing, and you just get into big, long conversations with people on the doors with that, and I used it a lot. So that was like my thing that was imprinted in my mind.
Same here.
And I saw that on the website, and they asked the question, and I thought, and I saw it, and it just did, like you said, it's triggered, just pissed me off. I was just like, oh, damn.
Yeah. Something else then.
See, I interrupted you and you stopped your thought.
No, it's alright. It was along the same thought, but I can't.
What triggered you? What book was it? Is that what you're going to say?
No, I can't remember. Something about the ministry. No, that's the other thing that is really disturbing me, is all this coronavirus stuff. Because I know that they're all saying, oh, it's the last days. But actually, in the back of my mind, it does make me think, the world is going mental. You know, governments can't make up their mind what we're meant to be doing. Wear a mask, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And it feels like the control of Jehovah's Witnesses, where it's don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. So it is just really difficult to listen to all that, because it does make you think, where is the world going? Because the world isn't going to be the same after coronavirus, I don't think, because it's just done us all in mentally, and not being able to see people, and it really has. So that's a little trigger for me. So I'm trying to find a way to fight that at the moment, to try, and you can't escape coronavirus, so I've just really got to tell myself that it's got nothing to do with Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's what done my head in that time when I went into Argos. I know, I'm sick of being told what I should and shouldn't do. So I've gone into I'm gone the other way, and my switch was down on obedient, and now it's gone right up to disobedient. And it,
yeah, definitely, yeah.
And to a point, yeah, you do stick to the rules and things like that generally, but you know, people have common sense, and just the way the woman spoke to me and told me what to do, that really did piss me off, because I'm not gonna have people talk to me like that anymore. And I should have said something to her, but I just held back because she was a woman, and I didn't want to scare her or say anything.
What it's like in Norfolk Lavender yesterday.
Norfolk Lavender was good.
Norfolk Lavender, yeah, it was good. It's a beautiful farm. The people on the farm are great, but there was just this one woman, and I was looking at the wax melts, and I've got my hat on because we've come out from the cold, and I've got my mask on, and I can't really hear or see where I'm going. But there was a lot of people in there, and they weren't social distancing. I didn't feel. I felt there was people behind me, people in front of me.
There's not 2 meters in between anything.
So I'd gone to look at these wax melts, and I was sort of looking at them, and I had them in my hand, and I was looking at what shapes they were. And the woman comes right up to me, not distancing, and says, you need to follow the arrows round the other side. So basically I had to walk round the other side of the wax melts to go back there to look at the wax melts. So surely if I then go back on yourself, you're going to walk into somebody.
But then, so you were already looking at something, you weren't moving?
I've already had it in my hand, wasn't moving, and because I'd gone the wrong way, she came and told me.
Was it that Jobsworth and
on the till?
Up the top of the stairs?
At the top of the stairs where the wax
she was funny,
and apparently she'd done the same thing to Rachel as well.
And the funny thing was, I saw her go the wrong way a couple of times, and I thought, you cheeky cow.
Yeah, and then I had it in the pub as well. I'd gone the wrong way to go to the toilet. I was taking the children to the toilet, and she said, "Oh, sorry, can you just go back that way and follow the arrows?" So you want me to then get in the way of people again because I've gone the wrong way?
So hold on a second. So you were already at the till?
No, I wasn't at the till. I was at the stand where the wax melts were. Yeah, stood there.
Yeah.
With the wax melts in my
Right,
hand,
yeah.
but she had clocked that I'd gone that way instead of that way.
So she made you
So
go out
she
of your way
came
to walk
over
around
to
people.
me and asked me to walk round it.
See, that's like what happened in Argos.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Now, they're probably being told, to be fair, the management are probably telling them to do that.
To make you aware.
To make you aware.
Yeah.
But if you're already in one spot, you know, just say, oh, I'm ever so sorry, I see you went the wrong way. Could you come this way next time? But it feels just like being in the congregation.
Yeah.
And being told, you shouldn't be watching that, you shouldn't be doing that.
The amount of shops I've actually walked out recently, where I've gone in, I've done one little thing wrong, and they'll say something, I just walk out, because if I said my mind, I would be in a lot of trouble with the police constantly. Like before, when I was younger, I'd get in trouble all night and just started fights and things like that, because I just hate being told and people being funny. I just hate it.
Yeah.
There's no need for anyone to be like that.
No, but we have to be careful because, you know,
We're older now, you've got children, yeah.
Yeah, and I made a mistake in the cafe, didn't I? Because Jack went to the toilet and he came out, and in my head, I thought he's left the tap on, because Jack does these little things, and we think he's got something not quite.
He's definitely not normal, boy.
We think he's got something like ADHD or something, but we haven't had him diagnosed with anything because we don't want him put on medication or anything like that, so we just try and look after him. I thought he'd left the taps on in the toilets, and this man said, excuse me, that little boy like this, and I thought, oh dear, he's left the tap on or something, and he said, he's left the door open. He was really getting annoyed, and I was talking to the lady in the cafe about her experience. She was actually telling me that when they did the help out to eat out thing, she said she had people pinch her, punch her, spit at her, so rude to her, because she either didn't have enough tables, or she didn't have certain vegan foods and things. And she said the next day they had to close because she said, I couldn't handle being physically attacked. So we're having this conversation. Then this man starts going on, and I said, oh, sorry, he's got a few problems. He said, well, he shouldn't have left the door open. Then I realised all he'd done was left the door open. And you had to say to me, Marie, that man's got special needs, didn't you? But I was so ready to say, who do you think you're talking to? But of course, you just don't know.
I would have. I think I might have guessed that he was special needs, but the thing is, I was there before you when there was a part when you weren't around, and I saw him come to the shop.
Yeah.
He was like wearing casual clothes, but with a leather jacket, and he's really old. But I could tell by the way he was talking and acting that he was.
Yeah, but I think because you're on the offensive, because you've got so used to people pushing you down that you automatically expect them to be having a go at you. When they're not always. Anyway, it's getting negative.
I was just about to interrupt.
It's getting negative.
Because it's getting negative.
It's getting very negative again.
Stop being negative. Say something positive.
Positive.
Do you know what I was thinking about? You know, I keep thinking, you know, there are people who are part of the organisation. Jehovah's Witnesses are, some of them who do nice things, but they're brainwashed, and it's a shame they're in it. But there's not really a nice thing that they. Do you know what I mean? Everything they do is futile, isn't it? It's not everything they do that's good. You know, they'd watch these videos and say, after all we've done for them, you know, but what did they really do?
They can't. They cannot see it. They cannot see it.
But they didn't really do anything anyway to help, did they?
No.
Not as much. And when we moved to the congregation, there was
one specific couple, the ones that hurt us, they did help us. Yeah, I'm going to interrupt you for a thing. You know, that one couple that ended up hurting us in the end, but they did do a lot for us. And you can't deny that. They were always like turning up on the door with shopping for us and cooking meals, and we were cooking them meals. Yeah, we did a lot for them, but they did do a lot for us, and they loved us. They did love us.
Yeah, I think after being in this congregation for so long and not having that, and then all of a sudden having that friendship, they like that.
Yeah, because they didn't.
But the thing is, they don't. What's happened? You know, they've actually, what they can't see is that they've made a bond with the children and everything as well. And now, because of what's been done to us unjustly, they won't speak to us, and that's where you think it's all for nothing. Because if it was real, nothing would stop that, would it? They'd still come round. They'd come round and say, "I'm sorry for what's happened, but we'll still have something to do here."
Yeah.
Just like the other couple.
Yeah, but
who were genuine.
Yeah, but that couple, as much as they loved us and we loved them, like I said, I called them mum and dad. They were very, very, very devout. Everything was about Jehovah, you know. If you went round the house and they had the TV on, they would have it on for 10 minutes and say, "That's enough of that. We don't need that now." And it would be, "Let's sing some kingdom songs. Let's do a little quiz." You know, it was always about Jehovah. But the sad thing is with them is that they got used so much. And if anything needed doing, it'd be they'd do it. That couple would do it. That couple would do it. But they just took it on the chin and thought, "We're doing what Jehovah wants us to do," and they couldn't see that they're just being used. And actually, people in the congregation used to take the mickey out of them, didn't they?
Well, yeah.
They took the mickey out of the way one of them spoke.
Yeah, but they also took the mickey out of other people as well.
Yeah. But
see, it's all the same, innit? I mean, it's funny.
They didn't invite them to many parties. They didn't invite them to.
No, but everybody talks about everyone behind their backs. Everyone. You know, we always do things that everyone does something that gets on other people's nerves. The thing is, I remember at a point when they were coming around that the talk was always negative, and I got peed off with it, and I just can't be doing gossip. And it was just like, I ended up not talking because you'd find yourself pulled in. Because I thought, do you know what? That one day they might say that we're negative on them for them. They'll come and they'll say that we all just moan, but we didn't. And I'd sit there and I'd talk about something, and all of a sudden they'd go negative, and they'd just negative.
Yeah, but the wife.
And I just ignore, and then it would carry on and go.
The wife wasn't as negative, and actually she would try and change.
It as well.
She would.
She's critical to people if they were like do one thing wrong. She'd put them down.
But she would also realise when the conversation was going somewhere, and then she would change it back to Jehovah again.
Yeah, we're all guilty of it.
But they don't seem to realise that. I think the reason was that we were the only ones they could talk to openly, and no, not now obviously, but no, that we weren't going to go back to the congregation telling them that they'd had a moan. They needed someone to sound off to, and I needed someone to sound off to.
Yeah,
and we were usually in a mutual thing of the same people were doing something to wind us both up. So we were sort of, yeah, it did feel very much like it was us and the congregation. Apart from the other couple we were really close with, the two were at loggerheads with each other, which was a shame. But anyway, that's negative again. Gone negative. You said about you going off track, and I've just done exactly the same.
Thing is, how can you not go negative and talk about it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, the only good thing is that we're out.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you can now go about everything you do without thinking. It made me think when we was on holiday and I was wearing that old man mask around the town, just being a prat, and just I don't care what the public think as long as you're having a laugh and everyone's smiling and stuff like that. I don't care. I've always been like that. But when you're a witness, it's like your conscience is on you. It's always.
I know.
You've always got
I know.
this...
But what I thought was really good about when we went away this September and October is when we went to a caravan. What was it? 3 years ago now. The first time we went to Heacham and we stayed there. We went to the clubhouse. We did this family quiz thing. That was fine. And then all of a sudden they said, "Let's sing Happy Birthday to so and so." There was us and the people whose birthday it was, and I remember going, oh no, they're going to expect us to sing Happy Birthday. I didn't want to explain myself on holiday. I'm on holiday. I don't. So we walked out into the amusements, and I had to down my drink because I couldn't take my drink into the amusements.
Yeah.
But this time we went, and it was just like there was no thought of anything, and we had a couple of games of bingo, which before it would have been, "Oh, don't go in there because they're playing bingo. We're not allowed to do bingo." So it's just these things where you don't have to double think. And Rosie said, which I was trying to say in your video, Rosie said to me last night, when we were in Norfolk Lavender, she said Lizzie was drawn to this like Father Christmas statue, and it was all colourful and it had this fluffy beard, and Lizzie was just stood there stroking the beard because it felt nice and it looked nice. And Rosie said, Do you know what? I thought, isn't that nice that Lizzie can just go up to that and stroke it? She said, if we were with one of the aunties or uncles, they would have said, oh, don't touch that. Joe doesn't like that. Mate, oh, don't go near that. Don't go near that. To be fair, I may have said it myself because I was so convinced that all that was wicked. So yeah, you've got the freedom to just look at what you like, do what you like, as long as you're not hurting anybody or.
Yeah, but it's not just it's not just that. It's you also when you're in the walk, you're like I said, you've got like a. It's like wearing a visor, and it's in front of your face, and it's constantly there.
Yeah.
And it's got written across it. You have to,
Yeah.
like
Don't look that way. Don't look. There is that scripture, isn't it? Don't turn to the left. Don't turn to the right. Keep going forward.
Hang on a minute. What? No.
Exactly
I'm trying to think of the word. What was the word? You've got an image to uphold because you are a witness. You that's what's constant in your mind. Everything you do, you think, oh, I've got to stop doing that because it won't look good if someone knows. If someone sees you doing that, they know he's doing that. That's always in your mind. So yeah, I think it's funny because
your mum was on the boat, weren't she, celebrating St George's Day? And you just went down to the boat. There was all the boats parked up for St George's Day, and you went down to say hello to your mum. And you had one of the brothers say, oh, you was doing St George's Day, was you? And he's like, oh, I can't even say hello to my mum now because there's a celebration.
No, because it was the day before St George's Day, and then mum was down there on one of her boats, and they'd all gone down there with all the English flags and everything, and it was in the town, and there was a bloke playing guitar. I can't remember how, but anyway, I ended up playing the guitar, and then I went with one of the other boaters to the music shop, and they bought a little second-hand electric guitar and an amp, and I ended up sat on the side of the bank playing guitar with this other bloke, and it was a good laugh. It was a real good laugh. And because the carts were across the way, it was the day before St George's Day, so of course all the boats go down. And yeah, the day after that, it was St George's Day, and I think someone had a little comment about celebrating St George's Day, and I was like, do you know what? I didn't celebrate St George's Day. I was just having a good time, and now, and also, like, another thing I'm looking forward to is, like, hopefully when this Corona crap has finished, life can go back to normal. Because if this is it and it's not going to go back to normal, then we've missed out so much. It's going to piss me off because they always have really cool markets on in town. The whole thing is lined with all cool stalls and interesting things, bands playing, people singing.